everybody. It's Carmen Nardini. I am coming to you today to read for the 52-week Bible study, week 39, Numbers 25 through 28, and it's out of the Living Bible Paraphrased. Numbers 25. While Israel was camped at Acacia, some of the young men began going to wild parties with the local Moabite girls. These girls also invited them to attend the sacrifices to their gods. And soon the men were not only attending the feast, but also bowing down and worshiping the idols. For long, all Israel was joining freely in the worship of Baal, the god of Moab. And the anger of the Lord was hot against his people. He issued the following command to Moses: execute all the tribal leaders of Israel, hang them up before the Lord in broad daylight, so that his fierce anger will turn away from the people. So Moses ordered the judges to execute all who had worshipped Baal. But one of the Israeli men insolently brought a Midianite girl into the camp right before the eyes of Moses and all the people as they were weeping at the door of the tabernacle. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar and grandson of Aaron the priest, saw this, he jumped up, grabbed a spear, and rushed after the man into his tent, where he had taken the girl. He thrust the spear all the way through the man's body and into her stomach. So the plague was stopped, but only after 24,000 people had already died. Then the Lord said to Moses, Phinehas, son of Eleazar and grandson of Aaron the priest, has turned away my anger, for he was as angry as I concerning my honor. So I have stopped destroying all Israel as I had intended. Now because of what he has done, because of his zeal for his God, and because he has made atonement for the people of Israel by what he did, I promise that he and his descendants shall be priests forever. The name of the man who was killed with the Midianite girl was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of the tribe of Simeon. The girl's name was Kozibai, daughter of Zur, a Midianite prince. Then the Lord said to Moses, destroy the Midianites, for they are destroying you with their wiles. They are causing you to worship Baal, and they are leading you astray, as you have just seen by the death of Kozibi. 26. After the plague had ended, Jehovah said to Moses and to Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, take a census of all the men of Israel who are 20 years old or older to find out how many of each tribe and clan are able to go to war. So Moses and Eleazar issued census instructions to the leaders of Israel. The entire nation was camped in the plains of Moab beside the Jordan River opposite Jericho. Here are the results of the census. The tribe of Reuben, 43,730. Reuben was Israel's eldest son. In this tribe were the following clans named after Reuben's son: the Hanokites, named after their ancestor Hanok; the Palalites, named after their ancestor Palu; in the subclan of Elib, who was one of the sons of Palu, were the families of Nemiel, Abiram, and Dathan. This Dathan and Abiram were the two leaders who conspired with Korah against Moses and Aaron, and in fact challenged the very authority of God. But the earth opened and swallowed them, and 250 men were destroyed by fire from the Lord that day as a warning to the entire nation. The Hezronites, named after their ancestor Hezron; the Carmites, named after their ancestor Carmi; the tribe of Simeon, 22,200. In this tribe were the following clans founded by Simeon's sons: the Nemuelites, named after their ancestor Nemuel; the Jeminites, named after their ancestor Jemin; the Jechanites, named after their ancestor Jachin; the Zerahites, named after their ancestor Zerah; the Shaulites, named after their ancestor Shaul; the tribe of Gad, 40,500. In this tribe were the following clans founded by the sons of Gad: the Zephonites, named after their ancestor Zephon; The Haggites, named after their ancestor Haggai. The Shunnites, named after their ancestor Shunai. The Ozanites, named after their ancestor Ozni. The Eriites, named after their ancestor Eri. The Aridites, named after their ancestor Arid. Their Arelites, named after their ancestor Arile. The tribe of Judea, 76,500. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Judah, but not including Er and Onan, who died in the land of Canaan. The Shilonites, named after their ancestor Shelah. The Perizzites, named after their ancestor Perez. The Zerahites, named after their ancestor Zerah. This census also included the subclans of Perez. The Hezronites, named after their ancestor Hezron. The Hamuelites, named after their ancestor Hamuel. The tribe of Issachar, 64,300. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Issachar. The Tolialites, named after their ancestor Tola. The Punites, named after their ancestor Puva. The Jazubites, named after their ancestor Jazub. The Shimronites, named after their ancestor Shimron. The tribe of Zebulun, 60,500. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Zebulun. The Zeradites, named after their ancestor Serid. The Elonites, named after their ancestor Elon. The Jehelielites, named after their ancestor Jehiel. The tribe of Joseph, 32,500. In the half tribe of Ephraim, and 52,750 in the half tribe of Manasseh. In the half tribe of Manasseh was the following clans of Machirites, named after their ancestor Machiri. The subclans of the Machirites was the Gileadites, named after their ancestor Gilead. The tribes of the Gileadites, the Jezerites, named after their ancestor Jezir. The Helikites, named after their ancestor Helik. The Azraelites, named after their ancestor Azrael. The Sheshemites, named after their ancestor Sheshem. The Shemaites, named after their ancestor Shemida. The Hepherites, named after their ancestor Hepher. Hepher's son Zephuliabed had no sons. Here are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, Tisra. The 32,500 registered in the half-tribe of Ephraim included the following clans named after the sons of Ephraim. The Shelionites, named after their ancestors. A subclan of the Sheluthalites was the Arinites, named after their ancestor Aaron, a son of Shuthelilah. The Becherites, named after their ancestor Becher. The Tanianites, named after their ancestor Tahan. The tribe of Benjamin, 45,600. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Benjamin. The Belialites, named after their ancestor Bela. Subclans named after sons of Bela were the Erdites, named after their ancestor Ard. The Namanites, named after their ancestor Naaman. The Ashbelites, named after their ancestor Ashbel. The Ahiramites, named after their ancestor Ahiram. The Shephaites, named after their ancestor Shephupam. The Huphamites, named after their ancestor Hupham. The tribe of Dan, 64,400. In this tribe was the clan of the Shehumites, named after Shehun, the son of Dan. The tribe of Asher, 53,400. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Asher. The Imnanites, named after their ancestor Imnah. The Ishuvites, named after their ancestor Ishuphi. The Berioites, named after their ancestor Beri. Subclans named after the sons of Beri were the Heberites, named after their ancestor Heber. The Malchiites, after their ancestor Malchiel. Asher also had a daughter named Sarah. The tribe of Naphtali, 45,400. In this tribe were the following clans named after the sons of Naphtali. The Jezielites, named after their ancestor Jeziel. The Gunianites, named after their ancestor Guni. The Jezerites, named after their ancestor Jezer. The Shimeites, named after their ancestor Shalim. So the total number of the draftable men throughout Israel was 601,730. Then the Lord told Moses to divide the land among the tribes in proportions to their population, as indicated by the census. The larger tribes to be given more land, the smaller tribes less land. Let the representatives of the large tribes have a lottery, drawing for the larger sections, the Lord instructed, and let the smaller tribes draw for the smaller sections. These are the clans of the Levites numbered in the census. The Gershonites, named after their ancestor Gershon, the Kohathites, named after their ancestor Kohath, the Merarites, named after their ancestor Merari. These are the families of the tribe of Levi: the Libanites, the Hebanites, the Mahalites, the Mushuites, the Korhorites. While Levi was in Egypt, a daughter Jochebed was born to him, and she became the wife of Amram, son of Kohath. They were the parents of Aaron, Moses, and Miriam. To Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unholy fire before the Lord. The total number of Levites in the census was 23,000, counting all the males a month old and upward. But the Levites were not included in the total census figure of the people of Israel, for the Levites were given no land when it was divided among the tribes. So these are the census figures as prepared by Moses and Eleazar the priest in the plains of Moab beside the Jordan River across from Jericho. Not one person in this entire census had been counted in the previous census taken in the wilderness of Sinai, for all who had been counted then had died, as the Lord had decreed when he said of them, "They shall die in the wilderness." The only exceptions were Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. 27. One day the daughters of Zelophehad came to the entrance of the tabernacle to give a petition to Moses. Eleazar the priest, the tribal leaders, and others who were there. These women were of the half-tribe of Manasseh, a son of Joseph. Their ancestor was Machir, son of Manasseh. Manasseh's son Gilead was their great-grandfather. His son Hefer was their grandfather, and his son Zelophehad was their father. Our father died in the wilderness, they said, and he was not one of those who perished in Korah's revolt against the Lord. It was a natural death, but he had no sons. Why should the name of our father disappear just because he had no son? We feel that we should be given property along with our father's brothers. Don't know where it is. Against the Lord, it was a natural death, but he had no sons. Why should the name of our father disappear just because he had no son? We feel that we should be given property along with our father's brothers. So Moses brought their case before the Lord. And the Lord replied to Moses, "The daughters of Zelophehad are correct. Give them land along with their uncles. Give them the property that would have been given to their father if he had lived. Moreover, this is a general law among you, that if a man dies and has no sons, then his inheritance shall be passed on to his daughters. And if he has no daughter, it shall belong to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then it shall go to his uncles. But if he has no uncles, then it shall go to the nearest relative." One day the Lord said to Moses, "Go up into Mount Abiram and look across the river to the land I have given to the people of Israel. After you have seen it, you shall die, as Aaron your brother did. For you rebelled against my instructions in the wilderness of Zin. When the people of Israel rebelled, you did not glorify me before them by following my instructions to order water to come out of the rock." He was referring to the incident at the waters of Meribah, place of strife, in Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. Then Moses said to the Lord, "O Jehovah, the God of the spirits of all mankind, before I am taken away, please appoint a new leader for the people, a man who will lead them into battle and care for them, so that the people of the Lord will not be as sheep without a shepherd." The Lord replied, "Go and get Joshua, son of Nun, who has the Spirit in him, and take him to Eleazar the priest. And as all the people watch, charge him with the responsibility of leading the people. Publicly give him your authority, so that all the people of Israel will obey him. He shall be the one to with Eleazar the priest in order to get directions from the Lord. The Lord will speak to Eleazar through the use of Urim, and Eleazar will pass on these instructions to Joshua and the people. In this way, the Lord will continue to give them guidance. So Moses did as Jehovah commanded and took Joshua to Eleazar the priest. As the people watched, Moses laid his hands upon him and dedicated him to his responsibilities as the Lord had commanded. 28. The Lord gave Moses the instructions to give to the people of Israel. The offerings which you burn on the altar for me are my food, and are a pleasure to me. So see to it that they are brought regularly and are offered as I have instructed you. When you make offerings by fire, you shall use yearly male lambs, each without defect. 2 of them shall be offered each day as a regular burnt offering. 1 lamb shall be sacrificed in the morning, the other in the evening. With them shall be offered a grain offering of 3 quarts of finely ground flour mixed with 3 pints of oil. This is a burnt offering ordained at Mount Sinai to be regularly offered as a fragrant odor, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Along with it shall be the drink offering, consisting of 3 pints of strong wine, with each lamb poured out in the holy place before the Lord. Offer the second lamb in the evening with the same grain offering and drink offering. It too is a fragrant odor to the Lord, an offering made by fire. On the Sabbath day, sacrifice 2 yearly male lambs, both without defect, in addition to the regular offerings. They are to be accompanied by a grain offering of 6 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil, and the usual drink offering. Also, on the first day of each month, there shall be an extra burnt offering to the Lord of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male yearling lambs, all without defect. Accompany them with 9 quarts of finely ground flour mixed with oil as a grain offering with each bull, and 6 quarts of finely ground flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for the ram. And for each lamb, 3 quarts of finely ground flour mixed with oil for a grain offering. This burnt offering shall be presented by fire and will please the Lord very much. Along with each sacrifice shall be a drink offering, 6 pints of wine with each bull, 4 pints for a ram, and 3 pints for a lamb. This then will be the burnt offering each month throughout the year. Also on the first day of each month you shall offer 1 male goat for a sin offering to the Lord. This is in addition to the regular daily burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 14th day of the first month of each year, you shall celebrate the Passover, when the death angel passed over the oldest sons of Israelites in Egypt, leaving them unharmed. On the following day, a great joyous 7-day festival will begin, but no leavened bread shall be served. On the first day of the festival, a holy assembly of all the people shall be called, and no hard work shall be done on that day. You shall offer as burnt sacrifices to the Lord 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 yearling male lambs, all without defect. With each bull there should be a grain offering of 9 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil. With a ram there shall be 6 quarts, and with each of the 7 lambs there shall be 3 quarts of fine flour. You must also offer a male goat as a sin offering, to make atonement for yourselves. These offerings shall be in addition to the usual daily sacrifices. This same sacrifice shall be offered on each of the 7 days of the feast. They will be very pleasant to the Lord. On the 7th day there should again be a holy and solemn assembly of all the people, and during that day you may do no hard work. On the day of first fruits, also called the Festival of Weeks or Pentecost, there must be a special solemn assembly of all the people to celebrate the new harvest. On that day you are to present the first of the new crop of grain as a grain offering to the Lord. There is to be no hard work by anyone on that day. A special burnt offering, very pleasant to the Lord, shall be offered that day. It shall consist of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 yearling male lambs. These shall be accompanied by your grain offering of 9 quarts of fine flour mixed with oil, with each bull 6 quarts with the ram, and 3 quarts with each of the 7 lambs. Also offer 1 male goat to make atonement for yourselves. These special offerings are in addition to the regular daily burnt offerings and grain offerings and drink offerings. Make sure that the animals you sacrifice are without defect. And that's all for today. Thanks for joining in. See you next time.